Good evening. How everybody doing? I don't know, I want to cut corners, I want to just jump into it. Yesterday I seen John Lennon on CNN. I seen him on like a real hot topic on the way that blacks are treated in America. Then to my surprise, or I guess I shouldn't be surprised, I see another black man killed by police officers. I had written a couple scripts on this topic, and I let it kind of like get pushed to the side. It kind of died away like stuff always do, I guess, the important stuff. But I'm gonna bring it up. I have been watching CNN every day for the past several months. The pictures I see remind me of the civil rights movements. Not that I was there, of course, but I've seen numerous photos and video clippings. I have read countless books and magazine articles to give me a good enough understanding of what happened back then. What I am at liberty to believe is the same results that we achieved from those marches, those riots, and those protests will repeat themselves. Or maybe even worse, to say the least. I am America's bastard son. I am not his heir. I am his disgrace, and therefore, I have not the same rights as his son. America is no different from so long ago, at least in many ways. What has changed in my eyes is this. America has been so bent on making and keeping its black people so naive that every new generation is becoming more and more able to function appropriately in society. I ask myself so many questions about this situation. Black people have been programmed to be so dysfunctional that even if we did gain some type of leverage or true acceptance, we have become our own destruction. We as a people have no structure, no foundation, no unity. We don't even embrace God to such an effect that we will be able to stand. Our position in the world right now is so horrible, so weak, so distorted, and so many other horrible things. Last night I learned of a statistic that I can't turn a blind eye to. It said that 2,200 black males were killed by other blacks, and that 123 blacks were killed by policemen. The question was asked, why isn't the fact that blacks are killing each other so much not being blown up, the same way that these cop killings are? Geraldo said it was because blacks wanted to make it seem like they are victims. I'm not co-signing anything that Geraldo said or anyone else has to say. But when someone says something that has some type of merit, I have to accept it and or admit it. That is a great question. Why aren't black people so upset about them killing themselves? Why aren't they protesting the way that they treat each other? Why isn't the black community marching against the way that they treat their own kind? Not in any way am I condoning what those officers did. Yes, those officers were totally wrong. Those officers had no right killing those people. The truth of the matter in my eyes is this. Blacks don't care enough about themselves. Blacks don't stand up for themselves. And blacks don't carry themselves in a manner to warrant sympathy for themselves. Blacks leave too many reasons for themselves to be accused and held responsible. They give their enemies too many weapons to use against them. I was always taught this. Don't give people any reason to discredit you. I also know this. People who are against you will dig up any piece of negative information they can to make you look bad. With most young black men and old, you don't have to dig too deep. More and more, every day, it is easy to see that black children have no respect for authority or their elders. In the Bible, the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1 through 4, it explains that even God tells us to obey authority. I understand well that our government is unfair. I understand that we are mistreated. I also understand this. When I am in compliance, it is easier for me to achieve fairness. It is hard to seek justice when you've gone out of your way to make it seem like you don't even deserve it. Even when we do deserve justice, we give them too much paint to create horrible pictures of us. I must be honest. Geraldo hit it right on the head. He couldn't have made it any clearer. We are African Americans, not colonists, not Asians, not anything else. We are our own separate entity. It is our job to instill in ourselves the same independent structure as every other race. We have had more than enough time to see and understand how America feels about us. It is not up to America to cherish us. It is up to ourselves to cherish us. And until we understand that, we will continue to be ridiculed and bound helpless. America can be justifiably blamed for a numerous amount of wrongdoings. This is nothing new. This is nothing lost on any of us, on anyone with intellect. I don't care about their wrongdoings. That is God's responsibility. What I care about is being formidable enough to stand up as a man, no matter who is or who does what. We have not even begun to focus on what is truly important. Those protests are aimed in the wrong direction. That energy should be directed at ourselves. We need our own leaders, our own elders, and our own intellectuals to start and rally, to stand and rally. We need to protest against all of the self-destructive concepts we have embraced among ourselves. It doesn't matter how we landed in such a state of being. It doesn't matter as much as overcoming it does. When I look at our youth, it is truly a disgrace to look at. The majority of our kids are so clueless that it is embarrassing. They are rebellious, aggressive, and so out of touch with reality. Chaos is inevitable. I have said so many times before, and I will continue to say it, black people have no moral foundation. Without moral values, a person is not a human being. He or she is an animal. If a person has no moral guidelines within himself or herself, then that means they have no boundaries. Without boundaries, there can never be enough focus. No focus on God, no focus on love, no focus on respect, or any of the true value systems needed to be human. I have my own personal beliefs about how my people have become so unacceptable, but I don't care about reasons. I believe that God can rehabilitate the weakest vessels in existence. I believe that we have to start promoting and campaigning the Spirit of God into our own race. The same way that we turn on the television sets and see all of those wicked promotions, we have to start our own promotions and campaigns. We have to stop being selfish as individuals. We have to start worrying about our outer appearances on such of a harmful level. What we must do is protect our own way of thinking and acting. We must stop accepting our own ignorance and weaknesses. I am at liberty to believe that black men are being killed by policemen for their lack of discipline and or willingness to submit and or be humble. Yes, I know that there are cases when they are being killed for no reason at all. I also know that they are often killed by horrible cops for the wrong reasons. Most important is this: when a man steps out into the battlefield, he or she is supposed to be aware. He is supposed to be aware and focused on what is necessary in order for him to have a chance at survival. He can't just walk around with his pants all falling off of his behind without any thought or care in the world. He can't be walking around under the influence of who knows what and not aware of his enemy's intentions. He or she can't think just because they look so cute in their outfits that they are all of a sudden so safe from harm. All of those pretty clothes can be quickly soaked in blood. All of those pretty clothes can easily be exchanged for oranges and blues. All of those kids seem to be drunk and high off of all of the wrong things. When I say things, I mean both chemical and psychological substances. It's horrible to see how and what those people are thinking. The lack of respect for themselves allow them to have no respect for others. They don't respect women, children, or police. They don't respect any of the rules that are necessary to survive. The yes sirs, the no sirs, the thank yous, and all of the many courtesies. Those things just sound like don't talk to them. They are so soaked in vulgarity that it is easy to see how some hot-headed cop wouldn't hesitate to chastise them. I'm at liberty to think that All of those songs, rap songs, videos, television programs have left them totally confused as to what is really for real. It is easy to see that when they are faced with real questions and real challenges, they become dumbfounded and haven't the slightest clue as to how to respond. I am at liberty to think that our government has been so determined, adamant, and successful at making and keeping us so naive that we have become too stupid to even stand in a straight line. I am at liberty to think that the police are becoming so aggressive because these young blacks are becoming more and more out of control. When I look, it's easy to see that they don't care about any of the rules. I will end with this. Black people have no control over their own women and children. That is a fact that isn't lost on anyone. Until they are able to have some type of self-control and unification among themselves, they can't hope to control anything else. They cannot even hope to have any control over how America treats them. African Americans have no power structure, therefore they cannot withstand any type of encroachment. I will remind you again of an important statistic. Last year the police killed 123 blacks, but black on black crime produced over 2,200 murders. That is no different from a group of soldiers turning on each other and shooting at each other, while the enemy doesn't have to do so much. I don't agree with these protests. I have to ask myself, if these cops are punished, what will it change? What will it change in the minds of black men? Will they be less inclined to be so foolish? Of course not. They will just feel like they won't get killed when they do stupid stuff. I don't care about cops going to jail. What I care about is my people becoming less ignorant. Thank you for listening.